Let me make a start with you first, Dr. Kakar. This is a very sad news coming in, of course, of this actress's demise at such a young age. What do you make of Shefali Jariwala's sudden demise?
Hello.
No, it is extremely unfortunate. A young girl who was always seen as somebody who was enjoying life, who was fit, who was striving towards a very good career, passes away like this. Now, there can be several reasons pertaining to it, but as far as the lifestyle which we were to look at it, it looked to be quite good. She seemed to be physically quite fit, except for the things that which you have just mentioned, the seizures and the anxiety and the depression issues she must have had in the past. Now, normally in such circumstances today, I will not talk about specifically about her, but this may be an indication towards what is leading us to this life. Is when there is intense ambition, there is high competitive drive, there is sense of urgency, there is a constant preoccupation. It has been seen that these traits also lead to heart risk, though there has not been any conclusive correlation between the two. But yes, as indicators, it's been quite clear that in the life that we live in today, when there's a lot of anxiety, when there's a lot of pressure, we have timelines and deadlines, to prove ourselves with, is when people get so overwhelmed with work that they forget that there is a life outside it. And that is primarily the reason when your body is unable to take. See, as we grow older, as we age, we still are thinking in our head that we might be just 25, 30-year old. We tend to compare ourselves psychologically that what I was able to do at 30, why not at 40 or why not at 50? And I think that is where we need to kind of mature and kind of reconcile with our age, make our mind, head understand that life is progressing, life is progressive, and as we mature, our body, the kind of work that we expect to kind of deliver may not be the same. So that is something when we are competing with people of different age group, we start behaving like them. We think that our body is standing with us, but it is not all the time. And that is psychologically also what happens is if our body is not being with us because of the age, we tend to push ourselves more. We want to prove ourselves to the outside world. We want to prove ourselves to us because psychologically at times people would say, well, I cannot resign, I cannot lose. So it is important that we all need to understand life needs to go with that age. Your body can take your body has a limit. It can endure and it can take to an extent, and we need to appreciate that rather than pushing our mind. See, because anxiety has a lot of role to play in this. Because and normally there is a trait anxiety. The trait anxiety is when we have preconceived ideas or when we have various anxieties about various situations which might compel us to behave in a certain manner, and that is where the societal pressure also grows up. And all these things would lead to either our brain or to our heart. And both of them are vulnerable to this kind of traits and behavior.
Now, you are, of course, a psychologist as well, Dr. Kakar. Shefali Jariwala had also spoken about, her struggle with anxiety, depression, but had said that, this is something that can be overcome if we take help and if, of course, we counter it effectively. And she had done that. She also spoke, in fact, about how she had been seizure-free as well for the last 15 years.
Certainly. See, the most important thing, the word that you used is effectively. Now, the question is, are we not pushing ourselves? Because what is the definition? One is there's a coping up mechanism. There is an anxiety. The person is suffering with depression and the person gets his or her life back to normal. Till that, it is okay. But when a person starts pushing oneself further and further away, thinking that if I have been able to successfully cope up with my depression or my anxiety, I can take this to another level of being someone who can do something extraordinary vis-a-vis my age, my mental condition, etc. I think that is at times taking too far. And because of this competitive world that we are living in fact, in case we don't want to, our work will push us to that extent. Our own ambition would push up to that extent. Proving our point to somebody else would push us to that extent. And I think that needs to be avoided, because these are the things which will lead you to either anxiety or depression. When you are unsuccessful, they will lead you to depression. And when somebody becomes successful, then the next step, the next step, and the next step would inevitably bring that person face to face with anxiety, where the anxiousness takes over because one starts demanding too much from himself or herself.
For more such videos, subscribe to the Newsx YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.